Alright everyone, well that wasn't bad at all as starts to the season go. 4 goals scored, none conceded, we're top of the league already. Everything is well in the world from my dry room here in Melbourne. Hey Stevie. Oh, you look a sorry state right now, Stevie. But everyone really appreciates you giving up some time to talk to us. How are things in glorious sunny Scotland?
Aye, I'm alright, Jack. Yeah, as you can imagine. I wonder why. Is it any surprise I really want to get out of here in my later years and just piss off elsewhere? Honestly, August as well. August. Listen, I'll make this the last of the moans. I don't want to go on about this poxy Glasgow weather. I know that the people on the channel don't want to hear all that, but I am absolutely sick of it. But anyway, that aside, a nice Sunday afternoon. Thought Celtic played really well. I guess we'll come on to that. And yet another flag day, which we didn't drop points. I think the last time we dropped points on a flag day, I'm right in saying it was against Kelly 2007. In my lifetime, I don't think I've seen us getting beaten a flag day, Hamish. So long may that continue. Thought Celtic were impressive today.
I was going to say, yeah, I mean, you are getting wet. On the plus side for you, it's not 3:45 in the morning. So we are both sacrificing something here, Stevie. Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, the record in flag days has been really good over the years. I think in terms of first games of the season, I'm sure Ian Crocker had a stat about the defeat to Hearts a couple of years ago, been one of our few defeats we've had on the first day. Magic today, despite the rain, was it good to be back at Celtic Park, and that pre-match display was really good as well.
It was really good to be back, although it was odd, like, other than the first 5 minutes, it was like, felt like very pre-season friendly sort of atmosphere round about where I was. I don't know if that's just because people went into the game expecting to win this one. And I think you saw, I don't know how Kilmarnock's performance played a part in that, because I thought they were quite lethargic. I don't know if that was down to Thursday, obviously, in Belgium. They put a lot into that, 90 minutes, and you saw them, wasn't really a rotating squad that they had. But I don't want to really go on about Kelly and about how poor they were, because I thought we started with a real tempo, high tempo, real high intensity. And there was a lot you can level, a lot of Celtic last season that, you know, at times they were very passive, and it took them maybe until like a goal down or something to happen in a game going against them before they got going. But they looked as if from the off, like they were really up for the cup today, and it was good to see that. And I think two things were a big factor. I thought Cameron was outstanding at the back. I thought, you know, last season against Ross County, when you saw him, he wasn't quite himself. He wasn't 100%. And again, the benefits of a fully fit Cameron Carter-Vickers today, night and day to what we saw last season against Ross County when there was some errors in his game. Today against Kilmarnock, nothing get by him. Real solid presence. And another one, look at midfield, I thought Rio last season, like, you remember him.
Wait, now, Stevie, why are you calling them by their first name? What's going on here? Is this a new thing?
That. It's a new wee bit for me. I will see how long it lasts. It's a new wee bit. But it's an Alan Brazil thing. But anyway, listen, I thought Rio Hatate, you remember last season, first game of the season, he was dropped for the squad completely. David Turnbull was in his place against Ross County, and of course the game against Aberdeen, Hatate came in and he wasn't quite himself, and then he got injured. He looks fully fit here today, and I thought he was magnificent today. Really good performance to him. So anyway, to sum it up, when you've got your best players fully fit, fully focused, Celtic look like a totally different animal. And again, I'm aware that it's going to be a long season, there's going to be far, difficult challenges to come. But I was really happy for what I saw today.
Yeah, I think you make a good point about the intensity from the team. You won't have seen this, Stevie, but there was a stat came up on Sky Sports 11 minutes into the game, and at that stage we'd had 111 passes. Kilmarnock had 6. So that summed up the start to the game that we made. I think at one stage we had 85% as well, and that was like 40 minutes into the game of possession. 85% possession. So I'm not sure if how the possession ended up, but we completely dominated that game. And I think you're right about the intensity as well. A small thing people may or may not have noticed because he had nothing to do today. But Kasper Schmeichel, see, whenever Kelly cleared their lines and the ball came all the way back to Kasper Schmeichel, he was releasing it in one touch. He wasn't taking his time. He was getting, there was a real kind of, as I say, intensity from the entire team today. And there was a moment in the second half as well when Brendan Rodgers was shouting at a ball kid to get the ball back into play really quickly, and again we were 3-0 up at that stage. So that was what Celtic showed today, and I've showed so far in pre-season. So many positives, mate. Like so many we could talk about. Who's at the top of your list?
Again, I thought Rio Hatate all round and midfield was fantastic. He would be my standout, but I thought also Matt O'Reilly. The only thing he missed was a goal. His link up from defence, his willingness to pick up the ball, on the thumb and then release it quickly and just link up with wingers. Joy to watch. As I say, try to just enjoy what we see with Matt O'Reilly now, because who knows what his future's going to be. But yeah, between Rio Hatate and Cameron Carter-Vickers, the pair of them really, really impressed me. And I think it was just a big thing after we both the players last season in the opening day. One player not getting in the squad at all. And Cameron Carter-Vickers looking nowhere near his best, and he had those injury problems. I'm really hoping now that Hatate can kick on and maybe deliver us a full season of what we saw under Postecoglou in 22-23 when he had those really good 5 months and then he got injured in I think March against Hibs, I believe it was, 3-1 win. So a full season from Rio Hatate would be, I think, what every Celtic fan wants to see. I think he'll be unplayable if he continues like that. But again, there's a big if, and it's going to be a long season. You can't expect those performances every game. But yeah, I'm really hoping as well Cameron Carter-Vickers has got over those injuries too. And another one I wanted to shout out to, Hamish, is like the trust that we've now got with the manager and guys like James Forrest. I think, if James Forrest was starting last season, there would be some groans, maybe even for myself included. Then you remember just how well that Forrest played last season, and it was so pivotal in us winning that league and also Scottish Cup. And I think when he started today, there was a real appreciation for him. There was no mumbles or groans or still having to play this position. There was a real trust there for James Forrest and the manager, so I think that spoke volumes. But I think it was really real Hatate and Cameron Carter-Vickers that I was most impressed with today. What about yourself?
I honestly think you could go through the entire team and pick out various players who performed well and were real positives on the day. And Kasper Schmeichel, by the way, I am literally going to run through the entire team very quickly. Kasper Schmeichel had nothing to do, but as I say, absolutely fine. He'll have far busier games for us. Alistair Johnson, I thought that was great. There was a moment in the second half when the ball was kind of cleared by Kilmarnock and they had a couple of players up and it looked a little bit dangerous for Johnson, but he controlled the ball, took it out the sky and won a free kick, and I just think he's really ready to have a top season for us. The two centre backs, Carter-Vickers, I agree, was solid today. Liam Scales got his goal. Greg Taylor was good. These guys, nothing's changed for me with Scales and Taylor. You still look at Europe and the Champions League, and I think we need better. But certainly at games like today, those guys are fine. The midfield was a joy to watch today. McGregor, O'Reilly, Hatate, fabulous. The front three were all so alert and just so lively right from the kickoff. The moment in the first half Kyogo had where he kind of let the ball run across him, completely took the defender out the game and could have scored there. He just looked so sharp, and Kyogo looked a lot more involved as well in the game, I thought, than at times last season. He was kind of coming to feet, but he was also running in behind as well. Should have had a goal today, shouldn't he? Had a few chances, should have had a penalty as well late on in the game. So I thought that was good. Sorry, you go, mate.
I was just going to say, I haven't seen any replays or anything with the penalty. A lot of people were up in arms from where I was sitting. What was your opinion of it? Because from what I saw, I think McCrory sort of spread himself and maybe got a bit of the ball, but people round about me were adamant that it was definitely a penalty, but I believe it was an offside shout too.
Yeah, so it wasn't offside. I think the Kelly defender's foot is playing Kyogo on. It's one of those when you see the freeze frame, you think he looks offside, but he's actually not. And I'm pretty sure Sky Sports said that the VAR had confirmed that there was no offside, so you can take the offside out of the equation. It's a penalty. It's a Stonewall penalty. And clearly, so far this season, we saw it yesterday in a certain game. I think the threshold for a penalty in Scottish football this season is going to be a lot higher than last season. I'm fine with that, but we need consistency. And also, sorry, I should say I'm fine with the threshold being higher, but how high you want to go? I mean, it was a definite penalty for me. I thought there was a few strange decisions today. A few Kelly players were pretty lucky. I thought Liam Donnelly could have been sent off. He had a yellow card and then one a few minutes later. Fraser Murray early on in the game had two pretty bad tackles. I think they were both Fraser Murray. I don't think he was booked for either of them. And there was one late on, Lewis Palmer got a really nasty one in his ankle later on in the game. So I thought it was a strange performance from Don Robertson, very lenient, let's just say. But in the grand scheme of things, you know, we won 4-0. Just on the wingers, Stevie, I thought Nicholas Kuhn was really good today. That run in the second half he had was great, and obviously got his goal as well. And James Forrest as well.
Yeah, Nicholas Kuhn obviously got a bit fortunate with the finish, but I think he deserved it. His overall play was excellent, and it was what we wanted to see. We wanted to see him kicking on from pre-season where he was impressive. We've always said that Kilmarnock aren't a very easy opponent, I would say. And against, maybe Kilmarnock last season, I think Kuhn would have probably struggled. But no, he looked as if he was in the mood for it. He looked, I think he looked a lot quicker too. He looked far. Yeah. He looked like as if he's maybe gained a couple of yards. But
he looked confident as well, I think. I just thought he looked a bit more, like last year he looked a bit unsure. Today I felt he had that aura,
Aye, and great word. I love that woke ball pattern, mate. I think you've got to give him complete credit for it, because he could have easily reverted to type like some wingers do after a good pre-season, but he showed that he definitely wants to be in and around this team. That's what we need. I think the big thing from what I saw, like you were saying, how confident he looked. I think he looked really hungry today, and he looked as if he was demanding the ball a lot more this season. Wasn't just on the fringes of the game or anything. He looked as if he was actually demanding it and wanting to make a difference. Long may that continue. And I think it's important too to note that he's not going to be playing like that every week, and there will be games where he will genuinely be like completely on the fringes, and he might have very, very little to do. But I think hopefully his output is just as impressive as what it was today. But yeah, you honestly just really, really can't find a fault with the Celtic side at all today. I think next week as well, usually you would say going to Easter Road's a tricky proposition, but fully confident that the Celtic team should be able to go to go there and get 3 points. And I'm not being dismissive or arrogant about it, but I think Hibs are a right bad way now. I don't know what it. I mean, I guess okay. We'll maybe come on to that next week. I'm getting ahead of myself here rather than lauding the team now, but that's just how confident I feel right now in the Celtic team. But it's also important to note that while things are good, and that was excellent today, bodies, we still badly need them in. We can't be looking at that thinking, off. Easy, job's done. Rangers dropped points yesterday. That'll be fine. But we really, really need to look at that as that was good, but we can get even better. And I'm sure the manager will. I think the big thing is, will the board be thinking the same way as the manager and the fans, basically?
I just want to repeat, I think, what we've said for a while, and I think a lot of people feel. For me, today, I was watching that game, and it was extremely easy today, and I know Kelly had certainly had more than one eye on their upcoming tie. I mean, Danny Armstrong, who's probably their best player, didn't start the game, etc. And obviously they played Thursday night, so it was probably easier today than a lot of games we'll have this season. It was about as one-sided a game as I can remember at Celtic Park. But the point I'm making is, I think today was further evidence of me of us really needing to push ourselves this season and measure ourselves at Champions League level. And today was magic, and the team looked really good, and I think there's real signs there that this is going to be a really brilliant season. We're going to score so many goals this season based on that performance today, but it's about the Champions League for me. And that's not me disregarding the league and the Scottish Cup and the League Cup. My point is, you measure yourself at Champions League level, you get the team ready for Champions League level, and the domestic stuff will take care of itself. Because that today was excellent, but as you say, we can't be looking at certain players today in a 4-0 win at home to Killie and going, you know what, maybe at Champions League level we can do it. We need to strengthen the squad. We need another first choice centre back, a first choice left back. We need to get Adam Ida over the line, because Kyogo got a kind of wee knock late in the game from McCrory, and you're thinking, wow, if he's injured here, what are we doing next week? So we still, have got business to do, and need to measure ourselves at that Champions League level. But today was good.
Yeah, you're spot on, mate. You're spot on. Directly right after the game, that's what I said as well to our pal Lewis. Said as well, look, listen, that was very enjoyable, but here's hoping that team can perform like that, and we get another couple of bodies in, because if we can play that tempo and that intensity, get another couple of quality bodies in the door, who's to say what we can do in the Champions League? And I know people might eye roll and scoff and go famous last words, but there comes a time when you stop being the punch bags and you've got to show ambition, and I'm really hoping this is the month and this is the year that we actually do it. Get a couple. I think the bare minimum for me in the Champions League is really being unbeaten at home. What happens away from home, whatever. But I just want to see Celtic Park again as a fortress. It's easier said than done, and maybe the days are beyond us. But when you look at what we did with an average team, in the Strachan era, I think we've got a more talented squad now. I guess the argument there would probably be, though, Hamish, that maybe football's moved on while Celtic have stood still. That's for another day. But there's no doubt that we've got some really talented players at that club. Bring in some quality. To me, that would be a bare minimum again, just to make Celtic Park like a difficult place to go. So yeah, the only way you can do that, and the only way you can salvage your reputation, is by bringing in bodies, and that's what we're crying out for. So that was good today, and let's build on it. Because imagine we were talking about this after a game in this howling weather, if we'd drop points or something, or like that. So it's good that we're in a position of strength now, but we really want to be building on that. And I think me and you have been quite consistent on what we've been saying about that in the last couple of weeks since the channel came back after pre-season.
Yeah, I agree. I just think we're going to be absolutely fine this season domestically if we hit any sort of level there. The way we started that game today was great, and I don't know if we've really mentioned it, but I thought James Forrest was magic today. I mean, Hatate probably wins man of the match. I think the app I'm using here, Trusted Sofa Score, Stevie, have given it to Liam Scales.
I like that one.
With a rating of 9.0. James Forrest would be right up there for me in terms of what he offered today. I thought right from the off he looked so lively. He was the one really linking the play and trying things. But some of the one-touch football round the corner and stuff today was great to watch. So everyone, I think we're in for a wonderful season. I can't wait for it. What was it like? What was it like to be back at Celtic Park, Stevie? And obviously, as I said at the start, the pre-match tifo was pretty cool.
What was it? I didn't get a view, but it was. I just saw. I didn't get a view. What was it?
I believe it was "We've won the league again. Fly the flag."
Okay, I like that one. That was good.
You could probably have guessed that.
I can imagine. No, look, I don't worry. I held it up. I wasn't a killjoy. I actually did hold it up, and it was good to be back at Celtic Park. But it was kind of like a friendly atmosphere. Very hard to describe. Maybe that was just at my bit, but I think generally that was just down to the fact that a lot of Celtic fans expected us to win that today as well and start the season off with 3 points, and we did. But listen, weather aside, good to be back. Great to be chatting to you. Where my arm's definitely no killing me. Brilliant stuff, and may we do many more of these this season, Hamish. I cannot wait.
Is that a bit of sarcasm there? I detect, or are you genuinely enjoying it?
Correct. Yeah. I am enjoying it, but I'm enjoying it. But there is sarcasm to you. My arm is killing me. I need to. I'm going to get do you know what I'm going to invest in this season? Unlike Rizzo, I'm actually going to put money where my mouth is, and I'm going to get a stand or something, because this can't go on. This poor army, mate.
I'd happily get. I'll treat you to something like that. Don't worry about that. But it'd be getting into the ground would be the issue. That's my only thought. But maybe there's something can be sorted out. It's riveting chat.
Maybe the audience can help us out and suggest something. Who knows?
Maybe an audience member, a viewer, can just stand there with the camera and just film you after games.
What a delight for them.
You're away on holiday as well, Stevie. So
Yes.
looking forward to that, and we'll catch up with you in a couple of weeks probably.
Aye, we'll see. I might not. I might not come back. Have I got to come back to this? I might not come back. But aye, defo, I'm away tomorrow morning first thing, so I better go and run and get my suitcase. I've dumped it in that tune. But yes, pleasure to chat, and I will catch up with you shortly.
Great stuff, Stevie. Thanks so much. Everyone, thanks for tuning in. We're going to be doing these kind of post-match videos this season. I can't promise it'll be every game because, as I said earlier, it's currently 4:05 in the morning. But certainly for the majority of matches, we'll be doing some sort of video like this, just to give you a little bit more from the channel after games. So yeah, batter your thoughts in on the performance today, the positives. I don't know if you're like Stevie, you might even find a wee negative. And I'll go through the best comments, the post-match comments from the manager, etc. On tomorrow's video. So don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you've just found us, and I'll catch up with you then.